Hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to have to do this to sort of fix things. Never mind, that didn't work. So I've still got the stream chat from the last stream that I was doing about 15 seconds ago, because Leeds United are reportedly going to lose out on signing Karl Darlow on a new contract, with the club that are closing in on a move being the ones that Leeds might not be too happy with, specifically Manchester United. So this has come from what I would call the most substantial of sources, being The Athletic. The Athletic tend to get absolutely everything correct. They do not often be wrong. And they have said the following. If I move things across, hold on. As you can tell, I was about to end my other stream, and then this happened, so that got things a little bit interesting. There we go. Move that over there. Manchester United are close to completing the signing of goalkeeper Karl Darlow on a free transfer. Manchester United have wanted an experienced goalkeeper, ideally with Premier League pedigree and qualifying as homegrown. Again, adding to that homegrown quota is just what clubs do, which is a little bit infuriating for us because we could also do with that homegrown quota, the bastards. To help bring on Senna Lamans, because Lamans? I don't know. Senna Lamans, and rotate as required with the club in the Champions League next season. So, effectively, Karl Darlow has seen the opportunity for Champions League football and decided that he wants it, which is understandable, irritating, but understandable. More depth in terms of the story, with Leeds United actively sort of wanting to have signed him, is not looking like the best of situations for us. So, to read through, Manchester United are close to completing the signing of goalkeeper Karl Darlow on a free transfer. This comes with a absolute lack of news around Leeds United also being close in terms of agreeing terms, which is not the best of signs. We would have had some idea by now if it looked like it was likely that Leeds United were going to be the ones that got that done. It has not looked likely that Leeds are going to be the ones getting that done, which is a bit of a shame. There are still finer points to sort, but United, let's just call them what they are. Let's just call them scum. United, that lot, are in advanced stages of bringing Darlow to the club. Senna Lamans needs support this coming season, with Altay Bayindir expected to leave. That being, effectively, he's going to go there as a second choice, in the same way that Ilham Meslier has gone to Arsenal as a second choice. The Athletic reported last month that United, again, were weighing up a move for Darlow, 35, who was a free agent this summer after his Leeds United contract expired. He joins a small list of players who've traded Elland Road for Old Trafford, including Rio Ferdinand. Nope. Gordon McQueen. I don't really know. And Alan Smith. Alan Smith being probably one of the more forgivable of the options, I would say. Everton also explored a move for Darlow, a 15-time Wales international. Another option for United, again, stop it, was Sam Johnston, who has 2 years remaining on his contract at Wolves. Johnston started his career at Scum's Academy. Scum have wanted an experienced goalkeeper, ideally with Premier League pedigree and qualifying as homegrown, to help bring on Lamans, etc, etc, etc. He dislodged Lucas Perry as the first choice last season, starting every game from mid-January. We only suffered 4 defeats in that run. I would say that Karl Darlow wasn't necessarily the one carrying that. I'd say that was more defensive structure. But you know what? You're looking to write an article, you're going to fluff it out a little bit. Upon making the switch, Farke said he felt the need to take Perry out of the spotlight, which he's going to get a little bit of spotlight now. After he perhaps not delivered performance-wise what we were expecting, he added Darlow is very reliable, solid goalkeeper, is fantastic for his last season, etc, etc, etc. Let's see if there's anything else of actual value here. Tom Heaton signed another year contract. I couldn't give a fuck, to be honest with you. Good piece of business, good backup signing. Surprised Leeds didn't try and keep him. I imagine we did try and keep him. That's the annoying part. But Leeds United set to lose Karl Darlow, which is a bit of a shame. And this is where we need to take a little bit of a dive into it and sort of understand things a little bit more fully. Because I think there's a chance that we're not doing that and we're maybe being a little bit harsh. So I'm going to go through the comments one by one. And then talk a little bit more about what this means for our move for other goalkeepers. First of all, send Rodon to Darlow's house, absolutely. Wreck the place. Not even just Joe Rodon. Send Sam Rodon because he's going to mess the place up a little bit. Anyone but them, absolutely, I agree. Hopefully he's decided to sign for them because Leeds have already signed a new starting keeper. I think Darlow not staying is the reason we are looking at another starting keeper. I think the potential Suzuki conversation has come up as a result of us going, right, it doesn't feel like Darlow is engaging in the way that we would want if we were to sign him. Let's look for alternatives as soon as possible. And in the worst case scenario, we are ready and we are already set to sort of sign the alternative, which makes a lot of sense. Can't believe the club's waiting out for Darlow. What do you mean waiting out for Darlow? I imagine we've made contract approaches and put contracts on the table, and like saying that it's a disgrace for our recruitment team is incredibly harsh, because at the end of the day we need to look at it in the same way that we look at making a move for a new signing. Let's look at it with Harry Wilson as an example, right? Harry Wilson is unattached to any club. There is no club that currently has a contract in place for Harry Wilson, or at least didn't a few weeks ago. Therefore, if you are... Have I used the wrong example? Maybe. If you are Fulham and you are making a contract approach for Harry Wilson and going, look, we want you to stick around, and then Arsenal come in for Harry Wilson, you're not going to say, right, Fulham recruitment team, dreadful, dire, get out, you are not good enough. Because at the end of the day, a Champions League club's come in, and a Champions League club has probably said, you will have appearances in the Champions League if you stay here. Which, from Darlow's perspective, your choice is Leeds, where you are maybe the starting goalkeeper, you don't know for certain, you are in a very, very tight competition, or a place where, let's be honest, Man United are going to give him more in terms of wages, they're going to give him potential Champions League football, at the very least in a Champions League squad, higher potential for trophies as well, depressingly. If you look at it in a sort of pure, straight up manner, then no matter what, you're seeing a situation in which we are not the best option for Karl Darlow at the minute, regardless of what our recruitment team does. Of course, we could have thrown obscene amounts of cash at him. Like, without a doubt, we could have just gone, have all the money in the world. It's not necessarily the best of moves, because all you're going to do is trip yourself up and cause yourself some financial issues further down the line. I think we've put a contract on the table, said, we would quite like you to take this, because at the end of the day we would quite like to sign you again because we absolutely love you being here. And then Man United have come in and gone, look, we'll pay you more and you'll play in the Champions League. Which is depressing, I'll be honest with you. But it's the world that we're living in. That's how football basically works a lot of the time. Good, let's get a proper number one in. Darlow was never a proper number one, but better than number two. Yeah, I think Darlow was always a sort of number 1.5. And I think Darlow leaving means that we absolutely need to make a move for another number one. Because if we don't, then we're in a bit of a weird situation. Oh, that's annoying. I was going to redirect everyone at the end of this to Leeds Lens, but I can't because I'm not on the list of people that are allowed to redirect. If you could fix that in your settings, if you're watching this, please do, because I'll send everyone over to you, because I'm sure this is going to be part of your conversation as well. If Darlow's on his way, does that mean Perry's likely to stay? I think it makes Perry far more likely to stay, because we've gone from a situation where last season we had 4 goalkeepers to now we have 2, and one of them's Alex Cairns. So Cairns is, let's be honest, going to be the third choice. If we sell Perry as well, then we got a lot of recruitment to do in that position, and that's not something that I think we're going to want to do. So what number is he then? I don't know what you mean. I'm not sure. I'm calling it now. We're getting Australia's keeper Patrick Beach naturally works with the Wilson signing. I don't know how it does, but sod it. Let's get Vazinha. Let's get the guy that was really, really good for... Was he Curacao or Cape Verde? Might have been Cape Verde. But yeah, let's get Vazinha in, that'll do. Can we sign the DR Congo goalkeeper? Probably not, I'll be honest with you. Especially since I don't think he's going to be that good. Also, I've got cat hair on my nose and it's making me really itchy. It's not fun. He'll be third choice there. I think he'll be second, realistically. Because Bayende is leaving. Behind him. Okay. Vitek, who is probably going on loan somewhere or permanently. Tom Heaton isn't going to really outdo Karl Darlow for minutes. It's not really going to be that big of a thing. Villa Martin says it's not a big loss. He's very average, and his little errors here and there were beginning to creep in towards the end of the season. Distribution wasn't great. Move on. Yeah, I think there's better goalkeepers to get. It's just a question of getting them. And for me, I think this is where we need to go all in on someone like a Zion Suzuki. If we do that, beautiful. But if we don't and we end up with someone that is not really an upgrade, then I think it's a little bit of a mistake on our end that could really be doing with being rectified, which sucks, but is probably a thing that needs to happen. Hold on 1 second. I've just had a bit of an idea. Is that Beastwear after last year available? No, he went to Napoli in the end, which is a shame, but that happens. There you are. You little bastard. Sorry, I've just seen the Leeds lens is not in fact following me back. So I can't actually send him a message to say, look, put me on the redirect list. So that's a bit of a shame, but well, that's fine, it happens. But fix it, please, that'd be nice. Where are we? When you're putting it all on a backup keeper like Darlow before improving, that's disgraceful. We should have always been looking at a new number one, not letting Darlow dictate it. Shocking. I mean, we are clearly looking at other goalkeepers. I think to call it shocking is a little bit harsh when we have already been actively sort of considering other goalkeepers. And we know we've been considering other goalkeepers because, well, we've heard the conversations around Suzuki. Admittedly, the conversations around Suzuki aren't being discussed in the sort of Graham Smith circles, but a lot of people seem quite sure that we've at least made an approach. So clearly we are in at least the direction of a goalkeeper, which is at least positive. Castaway, Beach, Wilson. Oh, I get you. Right, okay. Norway keeper's on a free. Is he? Who was Norway's goalkeeper? Oyen Nyland. Oh, he is. Is he? Oh, yeah. Cool, interesting. But then again, I don't know. I think potentially throwing a bit of money at this one is one that might make a little bit more sense. Darlow cost Wales a World Cup place, came for a ball that was never his. Didn't they lose a penalty shootout? I don't know. Darlow won't get Champions League football at Man United as they currently have 5 goalkeepers on the books with Onana currently on loan. Onana will go, Bayindir will go. Heaton is not going to be ahead of him in the pecking order. I think they will have promised him at least a little bit of football. At least that's what makes a little bit of sense. But I don't know. Where are we? Norway keeper's garbage at Villa. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but someone's always going to be bad from time to time. And Meslier found a move to fucking Arsenal somehow, which is mind-boggling, but whatever. With Wilson signing, Leeds are becoming Wales too. No, that's not the case anymore. Because we are now living in a world where if you lose one Welshman, you must sign another. So maybe that was it. Maybe we signed Wilson and then Darlow was like, the balance is wrong. There's too many Welshmen here. I must go elsewhere. And that's where he just sort of pissed off. That's what's happened there. We got like 6 Wales internationals right now. I think it's Wilson, Ampadu, Rodon, James, Crew, Linu. Yes, 6. We got 6 Welsh international footballers, which isn't too bad, to be honest with you. Yes, as Danny says, pop on a like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. That'd be absolutely massively appreciated. As much as I don't like to be that kind of guy, I'm going to be like, smash the like button, all that kind of stuff. I don't like the smash the like button stuff. It's like, no, it's so aggressive. Just like, all you need, it's just a, hold on, I'm trying to get my mouse to be long enough. All you need to just, boop, there you go. That's all you need to do to the like button. You don't need to like abuse the guy. It's fine. You just, boop. And also subscribe. That'd be really nice. I'm really close to 7,800 subscribers right now, which is really close to 8,000 subscribers. And that has been a goal for quite some time because Jesus, it gets hard to get subscribers when you're at slightly bigger numbers. So thank you. Anyway, if Perry goes, then Leeds will need to bring in 2 goalkeepers. We will, and that is going to be difficult. So hopefully we don't need to do that. I don't think Perry will go until we're certain we've got cover in this situation, but hard to say. Turns out they were prudent to already be on the lookout. Yeah, I think Leeds have ultimately made the right sort of decisions. Like, we can't decide what his next move is going to be because at the end of the day, it's not our decision to make. It's ultimately Karl Darlow's. at the end of the day, shit happens, and sometimes you don't end up with the players that you want to stick around, which sucks, but that's okay. Um, Darlow going with bringing Gareth Bale out of retirement. That'd be quite nice. Joe had a good update on Suzuki. I've not had a chance to see it because I've been battling a baby for the majority of the day. But let's have a look. Suzuki, Leeds. And let's see if Joe's thing pops up. The Leeds view. Leeds interest, but Suzuki's waiting on a European football offer. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, that'll be a case of if there's an offer, then there's an offer. Wonder if we sign Zitterstrom or Suzuki as our new goalkeepers. I think we'll sign at least a goalkeeper. I can't tell you exactly who that is yet because we don't know. Because everything is up in the air, and it will be for quite some time. He's hoping for Villa. He'll be hoping for something more shiny than Leeds, and I kind of understand it from his perspective, but James Trafford will be crazy expensive, at least on a permanent, and I wouldn't want to be in this exact same situation next season, where we've got a goalkeeper and a starting goalkeeper, and the starting goalkeeper's gone, which is what would happen if we got him on loan. And sure, if we got him on loan and then made sure that we'd signed someone in like the winter or something and said, you're going to be our starting goalkeeper, fine. But I think regardless, you're running a big risk to get a lone goalkeeper in. And in terms of a permanent move, that would be crazy expensive. It's not one that I think would be a good idea, to be honest with you. The quick lead bringing goalkeepers the better. As pre-season matches start soon, the goalkeepers have to start to build up a relationship with the defence. I think in those terms, the goalkeeper is potentially the least important relationship to build. The goalkeeper is someone that you can just sort of take out one part, plug in another. Because at the end of the day, passing to your defenders is easy enough. Like, I can give this from the perspective of someone that not only goalkeeps a lot, but has changing defenders a lot, because the league that I play in, thank you very much, Danny. The league that I play in has like constantly changing teams. You're not like a part of a team in the league. You are a part of the league, and then every 6 months or so you get new teammates. That means every 6 months, as a goalkeeper that plays out with my feet, I have to get used to working with new defenders, which means that every 6 months you go through this whole process. Thank you very much for the membership, Baby Zebra Games. But all the time, you're getting used to new defenders, and it takes a game or two, maybe. And that's without training, because we don't really do training. So, like, getting into those patterns is simple, is an absolute piece of piss. So I think the goalkeeper is the role where you can say, right, you out, you in, and it'll be maybe a week or two before they're up to the standards that you want them to be, at least in terms of the passing side of the game. When it comes to the shot stopping, at the end of the day, a shot in Italy is the same as a shot in Japan, is the same as a shot in the USA, is the same as a shot in Sweden. It's just whack the ball proper hard, stop the ball proper good. Simple. Bosh. Anyway, formation not a problem, is it, if we get the right players? No, I don't think the formation's a problem. If we sign the right people, brilliant. Suzuki can play it with both feet, makes few mistakes, and is 6'3". Yeah, I mean, that's what you kind of want, isn't it? You want a goalkeeper that's tall enough to do the job and has experience with his feet, and I think that's ultimately what you get with Suzuki. The only issue with Suzuki is we need the clubs that have European football to not also make a move for him, because at that point things get a little bit more tricky. At that point, you've got clubs that can go, look, we've got a bigger, shinier stage for you, enjoy it. But the Aston Villa one relies on Emi Martinez going, and I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen. Hold on, let's have a look. Juventus are eyeing a move for Emi Martinez. I mean, it'd be fairly difficult to get him out, but I don't know. It's tricky. Ideally, we are able to pluck Suzuki up, but difficult. Can he catch a ball better than Meslier? I mean, probably. Most goalkeepers can catch a ball better than Meslier. I personally think Farke should get the players if he wants to play the 4-2-3-1. We'll find out. And Juve might want him, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll get him. Rushworth, I don't see as grabbing, to be honest with you. If he's going to go anywhere, it's going to be Coventry. But I think Brighton are probably going to want to keep him around, which is fair enough, to be honest with you. Like, if they don't want to sell their players, they don't want to sell their players. Anyway, I am probably going to bring that stream to a close. It's only meant to be a fairly short one to get the news out. I'm still hoping we sack Farker or he leaves. Right. You've done this on purpose, so I keep the stream going. Season 1, 90 points. Fantastic year. Nothing to complain about other than the fact that we lost in the playoff final. That happens. Really solid start. Second season, broke the club win record, broke the club point record, broke the club goals scored record. 100 points, promoted with ease. First season up, everyone's like, if we get 17th, we're fine. We get 14th. Quit your bitching. Daniel Farker is not going to be sacked this summer. He's not going to leave this summer. And he will be completely fine to start next season. When things start to go wrong, we can start to complain. Farker doesn't attract players. Have a look at our squad. And if you want to complain about the likes of Anton Stach, you complain about the likes of Anton Stach. But that's not how it works. Manager pull is not realistically that big of a thing. And if you can tell me who you would hire that is a better shout than Daniel Farker right now, you go for it. But let's be honest, I don't think there's that many. Up to you, though. Unless you're going to say, like, Didier Deschamps or something mad like that. But anyway. Whatever. Anyway, as I said, I'm going to bring that stream to a close because we have hit the chaos point. I'm going to suggest that everyone goes over to Leeds Lens's stream, but not quite yet because I'm going to spam the link in a moment. And I am also going to encourage you to do me a favour and post a message in his chat. So, if we go to here, that's the link we're going to. And we're going to go over and say, Joe Blackburn says to let him redirect streams to your channel. He wants to do raids, but you're making him feel all lonely with a sad face. So we're going to go and raid the Leeds Lens. And that'd be absolutely wonderful. So if you could copy that message and you could head over to this link, that'd be fantastic. Lovely, wonderful, all good. Anyway, I'm going to pop off now. Like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you all later. I'm going to have a Chinese and I'm going to settle in for work. Toodaloo. If I can find the button. There we go.